I mean, and again, I think the perfect example of that is with Ezra. I'm really curious about what Ezra fans thought of Ezra in this show. Like, when again, man, it didn't make any sense to me where Sabine tries to hand him his lightsaber and he's like, oh, I'm not going to touch it. It's like only like the alphas of the show can have a lightsaber. You know what I mean? Like only the stars of the show can have a lightsaber. I'm just a background guy in your world. It's like, here, take your dick back. No, you keep my dick. I don't want it. It was annoying.
This is Geek Off The Street, your go-to channel for all things from obscure geekdom to modern-day pop culture and everything else in between.
What's up, everybody?
It's that time again.
Yes, it is. Again.
Yes, it is.
Again, as it always is. Yeah. Big week.
Yeah.
Big week to talk about. Yeah. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're talking. Yeah, we're gonna get into a really great show.
Yeah.
We'll talk about how great the show is.
But we gotta tell you what this show is in general.
Yes.
Because my name's Trent.
And my name is Marc.
And this is
Geek Off The Street.
Greatest podcast of all time. Talk about geek culture, pop culture, and whatever else we want.
Deal with it.
And this week is no exception.
Yes.
As we get into Ahsoka.
If you haven't done the math.
Yes, the newly concluded Disney Plus series.
Yes.
About the aforementioned Ahsoka.
Right. Yeah. Bit of a spin-off character. She was created on Clone Wars.
Clone Wars.
And fan favorite. She was super popular. And they made her canon now.
Yeah, prove she has some staying power.
Yeah,
and here she is in live action, connecting all the dots now, or a lot of the dots.
Yeah, and probably more in the future too.
Yeah, as far as judging by how the show ends. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, we can get into all that after we talk about how we're doing and what are we drinking this week.
Let's see. What do you want to talk about first? What we're drinking?
Drinks. Yeah, let's go drinks. I'm gonna
do it.
So we're since we're covering Ahsoka and Star Wars, dealing with light side, dark side.
Right, in case you didn't know anything about Star Wars, that's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah, go watch Star Wars.
Yeah, go watch Star Wars.
But we decided to make a dark side and a light side drink. Yeah.
Yes.
Dark side's got some fruit punch. And everything else in it.
Yeah,
Rum,
it does.
gin, vodka.
Yeah. Ooh, man.
Peach schnapps. And then the light
this
side.
one by itself is a bad boy.
Then the light side has some vodka, peach schnapps,
blue curacao,
and some Sprite.
Gin,
and
Midori.
Midori. Yeah, a little bit of Everclear.
Man.
It's gonna be a long night.
It's gonna be
a good night though. But so you get to choose your own adventure.
Yes, I'm gonna start with.
Here I'm double fisting. You
you
actually
are.
gotta pick one.
You got it. Okay, that's what we're doing. All right, starting with the dark side.
Okay.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Everybody that's just listening, we are taking a drink of the beverage.
Each one, yeah.
Yeah, you got to go check out the YouTube clip that's going to show you how to make the drinks.
Exactly.
And you can look at them. They're gorgeous. Like your host is.
Both very fruity. A lot going on in them.
Yeah. I'm trying to think which one I like better.
I think I'm leaning more towards the dark side. Because let me tell you why.
Well, are you talking about the drink or?
Because let me tell you why. My whole life, I've always thought of myself as, good person, good, honest citizen. I care about people's feelings. I care about, try to be sympathetic. Try to do the right thing all the time. But the older I get, the more people I meet, and the more life experience I have.
Oh, Lord.
Starting to lean more towards the other side.
All right, Count Dooku.
Not full on murdering younglings. Like, not that.
Okay, so you're not, okay.
But,
not that bad.
But some are like,
just murdering your peers.
Yeah. In the middle, maybe, is what I'm feeling like.
Okay.
Drifting more towards the gray Jedi / dark Jedi. But,
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I've always kind of feel the same way. I've always felt like I've been a, good person, try to do the right thing. The older I've gotten, the more I've doubled down on that because I'm a fantastic person. So I'm definitely the light side. So that just means I'm not trying to say that I'm better than most people. But if that's what you want to imply from what I'm saying, I can't stop you.
Yeah.
Because I've only gotten more generous.
And if you've seen one of our shows, I think it's pretty easy to tell which one of us is the positive one and which one of us is not.
Right.
Yeah.
I was about to make a joke. Which one is the most humble? But I don't know. Sometimes we both have our moments.
We have our moments. Yeah,
Clearly, I just had mine, but any other time,
typically, I would say that's you. One way or not, yeah. But
Trent,
anyway,
one of your best lines. I'm the best.
I'm the best.
You can say the most random whatever. I'm the greatest person in the world.
And if you agree with me, I'm like, did you just say I'm the greest person ever?
What?
The most intelligent person you ever met?
No, but
that's what I heard.
Yeah. Both roofs are good though. Man.
Yeah,
I'm picking up on the gin in the dark side drink.
And gin, I'm tasting them.
I'm loving gin.
I'm a gin guy right now, very much so. So yeah. But yeah, these are great drinks. Try them out, mix them up yourselves. Let us know what you think. Let us know which side you choose, or if you're like us and you chose both sides.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are really drinking both at the same time. That's terrible.
Yeah. Or it's great. We're innovative. Yeah. Trying to learn both sides of the force. Wow. Justified.
Justified.
Got it.
Anyway. Like put a stamp. Bump. Justified.
Anyway, how are we doing this week? I am not doing great. I crashed my car this week. My beautiful Prius.
Yeah, you haven't had it that long too, right? Like it's a couple years?
Yeah, like maybe almost 3 years now.
That's like 3 years. Okay.
Yeah, a little over 3. No, 2 years. 3 years would have been this next July coming up, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I think it's 3 because I paid registration twice. So yeah, so about 3 years now, a little over 3 years.
Right on.
In July, and I love that car, loved it to death.
Yeah.
And
pretty reliable.
Yeah, for legal reasons, I was hit. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what happened.
100% at fault. I guess I can tell the story. I was driving out of my neighborhood heading to work at like 4 in the morning, I usually 4:30 in the morning. I have a gallon or the half-gallon bottle of water that I fill with supplements that I drink throughout the day.
Yeah.
I fell off the seat as I was going into a turn. The cap fell off, started dumping the whole thing onto the ground.
Oh, crap.
I reached down to pick it up, looked up, and I drifted into a car that was parked on the street. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A parked car.
And I clipped the back of it, basically. The back corner of it, yeah. So.
Did you go in time and hit my car? Because that's exactly the same situation.
I hit the exact same part that guy hit you. Wow. The difference is that he had a metal bumper because he had like a work van.
Yeah.
So, but it ripped my car completely. Like ripped the side of my car completely off.
Right on.
So
his car not that damaged?
Not bad at all. Just a crack in the side paneling, like a corner paneling of the swing door.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. So my car was not great. I might post a picture of it on our website, on our Instagram, so you guys can see it.
Wow.
But yeah,
that is some weird.
Yeah, weird deja vu.
Oh, man, I'm all about symmetry, but not like this.
And I have not been liking the last few days after that. I don't like car accidents, man.
Yeah.
Just how inconvenient
junk,
and bullshit and
the inconvenience is real.
And even like the flashbacks, like dude, if I had looked up a second earlier, I would have been fine.
Yeah, doing that to yourself.
Exactly, all kind of shit. And then I'm sitting here wondering, was my car totaled? Can they fix it?
Right.
If they fix it, it's gonna take a few months because all the factories are on strike right now, apparently. So getting parts will be hard. So do I get a check to get a new car? But then interest rates will be different.
Right.
Stuff,
yeah.
All this stuff is just going through my head. I'm not happy about it. So rough week.
That is exhausting.
Yeah, it is exhausting. So kind of just wanted to be over. It's give me an answer, but I gotta wait till Monday, I think. So.
Oh man, that sucks to hear, dude. No joke. But I'm gonna do something that this is gonna knock it all out. It's gonna cheer it all up.
Is it
right here, right now? So this week I worked all this week and I did like overtime.
Yeah,
like a couple times. I even went into work on my day off.
That is very uncharacteristic of you.
Yeah. Anybody that knows me. So, but I mentioned a couple of shows before. That out here we have a place called Ontario Mills, and they have a shop called Somi SOMI SOMI.
Yeah,
and they have a thing called taiyaki. And we talked about it. Taki. That's what I said.
You're right, taiyaki. You had right.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna stop talking because I'm just making it worse. But I went and I picked up some taiyaki. Now everybody listening, you can't see, but I'm showing this beautiful box.
Right now, switch over to the video version of this.
Right, yeah, drop what you're doing.
Yeah, and
maybe you can
check this out.
Yeah, you can see what they look like. You probably can't see it very well, but they're little waffles. Essentially, they're waffles, like waffle batter.
Yeah.
They're in the shape of a fish.
Mm-hmm.
And then inside of it, they put in a filling of some kind.
Yeah.
So this particular one that I picked up right now is cheddar cheese.
cheese. Like
it's cheese.
So this is like a savory thing.
This is a savory one.
That sounds amazing. My stomach started rumbling.
Grab one of those bad boys.
So look at that. One too. That's the shape of a fish. And this one specifically is stuffed with cheese. You guys are just going to hear us and watch us eat. So.
Yeah. All right, hang on. Well, that is cheese in there. Mm-hmm. It's buttery. The cheese is good.
Let me just say this, that I like most things with cheese on it. And this is one of those things.
Same people?
Yeah.
Now, this would have been...
Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. Right out of the... Like, once you get it from the shop...
I imagine it's like
it's
toasty, hot.
It's
melted,
hot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine what that tastes like, but this still...
Yeah.
It's tasty.
Imagine what the cheese would have been gooey.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, so you guys ever get a chance to try taiyaki wherever you are.
Yeah.
Hopefully you have an option for that.
And there's so many places. A bit of a chain. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure where else it is, but I know there's a lot here in Southern California. So, yeah. This is... Yeah.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah.
I'm more than okay with this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, I also got... Because... We clearly like to overindulge with double fist and drinks in here. I also got the classic red bean one as well.
So I think that's the original. If I were to guess, that's the original one. The original dessert, the red bean one. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna let Trent get a red bean.
Sir.
You're welcome, sir. I'm also gonna grab a red bean, and I got this planned out perfectly. Everybody gets one. And then there's one for your mom and dad.
Oh, that's so sweet of you.
Fantastic. Now, like I said, it's not going to be as, fresh or whatever, but...
I bet if you threw it into the air fryer,
that would be perfect, yeah. You don't want to microwave it? Yeah. But yeah, essentially it's like waffle batter.
Yeah.
And the waffle batter is very light, is good. Yeah, it's a very cool fish shape. I think when you get it fresh, I mean, you can even see like they had eyes on the fish and the lips and the scales.
This is a pretty popular, like... Kind of a kid's treat, I guess.
Okay.
But I think I'm sure adults eat them too because they're delicious. So this is the red bean.
This cheese is fantastic, yeah. Let's take on the red bean.
That's great.
It's
just like red bean.
Now with the red bean is actually, and we talked about this in our, was it on the One Piece episode? I'm not sure. No, it wasn't. It was just.
Was the one after that?
Yeah. Anyways, the red bean is a dessert. It's not like your typical beans that we have out here. The red bean, in Japan or Asian markets is sweeter. So it's a
dessert, yeah, exactly what you're saying.
It's definitely a dessert thing.
And I don't be scared. I'm not a bean guy generally.
Yeah.
But this is different. A sweet bean dessert. Like a paste kind of. Very good. I'm sure everybody at home listening to us is very interested.
Yeah, no, we're just listening to us like chomp, chomp, chomp.
This is great.
That's just riveting entertainment.
Yeah. Those of you watching, though, I'm sure, will be just as mad because you're gonna have to watch us eat.
Yeah, right.
you're gonna be wanting some yourself.
Like, go on.
Yeah, yeah. These are good, man.
They're very delicious.
Yeah.
This is the last one, everybody.
We got another one.
This is the last one, though.
Okay.
This is a hot mess. We're doing way too much. This one,
fine.
The filling. So we had cheddar cheese. They have a bunch of different fillings, and they also do it where you get this fish, and then they actually put it in ice cream as well.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that too. So it's nuts. This one is actually Nutella.
Oh, okay. That already has me. So right? I love Nutella.
Who doesn't love Nutella? Yeah. Unless you're like allergic to nuts or something.
Yeah, or a communist.
Or a filthy. Hey, just in case we got some communist listeners.
Oh man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, let me take a bite of that bad boy.
That is I really like Nutella though a lot, but yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. That's that hazel.
Yeah.
This one's still kind of melty too.
Yeah, this is perfect, man.
Delicious.
Oh man, that's stupid.
So I think my sister, I was gonna give one to her. I think she probably didn't get one of those. Anyway, there's enough, like I said, there's enough for everyone to have
one.
At least one. And they can mix up the flavors. But anyways, yeah, if you get a chance to go to a place where they sell this, yeah. Get them, they're good. I mean, it's one of those weird things like, I mean, I've been to the mall, this particular mall like a million times.
Right.
I don't know how long that shop has been there, but I definitely just walked past it. Mm-hmm. So now it's like on my list every time I go.
Over there, yeah, man. Wow. Mm-hmm. These are fantastic.
Yeah. And it's not that expensive. I think like getting 5 of them was like, it was under like, you know, it was definitely under $10.
Oh,
to
really?
Get like a group,
that's
like a
not
batch
bad
of
at all.
5. Yeah.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna go tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just imagine how much, you know, better, fresh and everything.
Mm-hmm. No, that's delicious, man.
Yeah.
I can eat those all day. Yeah.
And it's got that mix of the, you know, the flavors, you know, between the waffle type breading. Mm-hmm. And then it's just got different things. They have the cookies and cream you could put in. They have a custard. They have an ube, which is a type of, you know, vegetable. I think that
like a sweet.
I think it is a sweet one as well. Yeah,
or that kind of I think fruit. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's again not one of those things that has a ton of sugar in it. Mm-hmm. So it's much more subtle.
Yeah, then you
but
like
it's still good.
Donut or something. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, that was amazing, dude. Thank you for doing that, man. That's freaking awesome, dude. I feel
all right.
Great.
We will. Yeah, we're probably gonna need it too with our
break up these drinks. Yeah.
Yeah, with our Jedi Sith battle.
Stuff going on here. Yeah, this Jedi Sith battle is gonna be going on in my stomach here in a second. So. But yeah, all right.
That.
Dude, thank you for doing that, man.
Yeah,
That's
very
awesome,
welcome.
Man.
Yeah, it's all good.
So tasty.
Yeah, we're mixing up the.
Show a little bit. A little taste try. Yeah. Yeah, we can start bringing stuff from like that relate to the show. This is open all kinds of possibilities. More things for me to enjoy. More ways for me to stuff my face.
Right. I'll take that. But yeah, I still love the dongos.
Yeah.
Anybody go watch that episode, that clip where we're trying dongo? I'm trying dongo for the first time. Trent brought some in. Delicious.
Yeah, those are good.
Nina asked me like she needed more description of the flavor. You got to watch the whole episode. Mm-hmm. When you watch that clip, you get a little bit of what's going on. Get it?
Yeah.
Just a taste.
Fun in there, yeah.
And then you got to go listen to the episode. You'll hear the whole description. So.
Yeah. It's a long description, dude. Yeah. So
fantastic. That was really good.
Cool, man. All right. Well, I guess we should get into why people are here.
Yes.
Listen to us talk about Ahsoka.
And listen to us eat.
Yeah. So Ahsoka is an 8-episode series that came out on Disney Plus. Just concluded. This week, right? On Wednesday. Yeah. Wednesday, yeah. Mm-hmm. Wednesday, that would have been the 5th, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So just concluded an episode series about the aforementioned Ahsoka, and about all of her merry band of people.
Yeah, ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah, ne'er-do-wells, yeah. Essentially, it feels like a sequel to Rebels in a lot of ways, because a lot of the characters from Rebels are in there. The enemy is the same, like Thrawn, the threat of Thrawn coming back. Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't seen this yet. So keep that in mind. We're going to get all the spoilers. It was created, Dave Filoni ran the show. Mm-hmm. I think Ahsoka's close to him because he, created Ahsoka because he had a big part of the Clone Wars animated series. Mm-hmm. And it's really close to his heart. So he wants to take care of Ahsoka and, put her as much as he can front and center. And they're seemingly giving him a lot of free range with the properties. Yeah, I think he's gotten after this. I think he has a movie deal as well. He's gonna do a movie somewhere, a shared universe between them and that Mandalorian. I think that's in the talks or in the works right now.
Right, that's what I've heard as well. I can't remember the title that they're the working title.
Yeah,
Ever something. I think I'm not sure. But yeah.
So he's got some pretty long leash here, is what it seems like. And Dave Filoni is the guy known for doing what's right in Star Wars at this time. He did Rebels, he did Clone Wars, big shows that were just very successful and did a lot for expanding the Star Wars universe. And yeah, if you haven't checked it out, you're doing yourself a disservice because there's a lot of great content in those series. And it's now he has his own live action run with Ahsoka, and it bridges a lot of the live action stuff with the animated stuff and fills in a lot of blanks, and I think there's a lot of good things to talk about for the show. Yeah. But some other things we got to discuss as well.
Yeah, and he's going to run with it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And full disclosure, I have not seen all of the Clone Wars and all of the Rebel episodes. I've seen some of the benchmark episodes, some of those highlights that you kind of like you need to see. Mm-hmm. Danny was like calling me, on a regular basis, like, you need to check this out, you need to watch this, do this. Danny, I hear you. I watched some of it, but not all of it.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot to watch, though. Yeah, it took me a long time to get through all of it, too. So,
and I imagine there's a lot of Easter eggs
There are
in
a
the
ton.
series. Yeah,
there are a ton, and I will fill you in, no problem.
Right on.
I'll try to keep it tight. I try to keep it tight though. But yeah, I guess right off the bat, positives. What do you like about the show?
Right as I take a bite of the Nutella.
That's the gooeyest one too. So it's not a word. I'll jump into it. One of the big things, and this is kind of more of a, I don't know. This might play into my psyche or my ego a little bit. But one of the things I liked about the show a lot was that Dave Filoni did not care if you knew who these characters were. He didn't care if you watched Rebels or if you watched Clone Wars.
Yeah.
He didn't even think about that. That wasn't a thought in his head. He wanted to make a show that was based on characters that he created, and it was for the fans of those shows.
Right.
And unapologetically made a show about that. And there was a lot of criticism at the beginning because people didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And that's because you didn't watch the original shows. So, and that's not, obviously not, if you didn't watch the shows because you just you didn't have time, whatever.
Yeah, it's not a dig, yeah.
That's cool. But to the people that are like, oh, I don't watch cartoons. Well, tough shit. Tough titty. That's your fault. You know what I mean?
Start watching them.
Yeah, start watching them because you're doing yourself a disservice and by not consuming this canonical content, you know what I mean, to Star Wars, right? And there are even like people responding onto like message boards like Anakin had an apprentice. That doesn't make sense. I was like, well,
yeah, it makes sense in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, it makes sense in the Clone Wars, and now that it's now that that's finally been tying into live action, and now it's like, okay, this is serious. Like this really did all happen. Everything here, it's all canon. It all happened,
right?
And like you see Hayden Christensen interact with Rosario Dawson, who plays Ahsoka. And it's real now. It's even more real because it's in the live action universe, you know. And I love that Dave Filoni just went with it. He's like, I'm doing something for me and my fans, and I don't care if you know about it or you don't. That's on it's on you. Now that's a great approach to it, especially with a guy like Dave Filoni who's had a lot of success with Star Wars. And really is a person who cares about it and really is passionate about Star Wars.
Right. And, and it's one of those things, too, where those shows have been out for a very long time at this point. So you probably should know something about it. You know what I mean? If you're a Star Wars fan, there's no way to avoid it. You have to know something.
Yeah, you've had to have seen Ahsoka, seen her lightsabers, heard her name. She's a popular character.
Right.
At this point in time.
And I have very limited knowledge of those shows, but I do know enough. I know, some of the conflicts that I believe it was in Rebels where, Ahsoka, comes in contact with, Darth Vader and all that kind of stuff. So, I've seen some of the highlights and whatnot. So there's not much of an excuse for not knowing something about what's going on.
Exactly.
So,
if you have no idea, that's a little bit on you.
That's on you at that point.
Yeah. And I know people that are personal people that are being, I don't watch cartoons. That's a really closed-minded way of approaching things, because just because it's anime doesn't mean it's not a good story. It's not good content,
Exactly.
And I preach that forever.
It's just another medium to consume content.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. Yeah.
It's all about that story.
Yeah. If you can't get past the visual medium, that's your fault.
Right.
Like, I have no sympathy for people that are closed-minded like that, And so I think it's great for that. It's great for that. And on top of that, there are a lot of Easter eggs or kind of theories about where the show is going. And as the show itself, I got a lot of issues with the show itself.
Yeah.
But what this show sets up for the future has some major implications that are potentially really awesome if he's using what he's using, because he's pretty known for pulling so the expanded universe is like the books, right? The sequel to the original trilogy, and like all that universe plus all the Old Republic stuff, and all those books were considered canon at one point. When Disney bought Star Wars, they decided, no, that's not canon anymore. That's Elseworlds kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Dave Filoni's been pulling things like Thrawn's from those books, so he pulled Thrawn from there.
Right on.
He's been pulling characters and stories from out of those books, that come across in Rebels and Clone Wars, and now in this show pretty heavily. And there's some pretty big hints about where it's going.
Right.
In regard to that.
Yeah, I'm going to ask really quick. The ones, does that come from the books as well, or?
The ones, I think that's like the Celestials, or the gods, kind of, or like the Force.
Like these Force.
Yeah, the Force gods. Yeah, that I think it is mentioned in the books.
I just wonder where it started from.
Yeah, I think it. So I remember reading that it did come from the books. Like Luke, I think, had some experience with that.
Fought one of them. The son or the father he fought one.
Yeah,
of them?
I think something like that. And actually the main villain is stemmed from that. The ones.
Oh, I think he fought the mother. I think the mother's.
Oh, the mother is. One. Yeah. So the mother, or I think, what was her name? Abel Gold or something like that. Abel, I forgot the name. I'm blanking on it right now. It's been a long time, but I think it's Abel Gold or something like that. And she's a human that accessed the powers of the ones.
Became an immortal,
and it kind of ended up corrupting her.
It warped her, yeah.
Yeah, she ends up becoming the main villain of that series of that world. You know, and there's a lot that goes on. I mean, I don't want to get into a Disney bash fest, but the sequels could have been great if they would have used those books or at least some stuff from those books. There's so much content in there. There's like Luke and Leia have twins, or not? Sorry, that was weird. Han and Leia, they have twins, and they're like the next set of Force users. Yeah. Luke starts the new Jedi Order. He has kids as well, and then the twins become a big deal, and then one becomes evil, and that's a big part of the first arc of that. Right, and there's a lot of content that they could have used right there for the sequels, and they did away with and did their own thing. When obviously we saw how that went.
Yeah, it feels like they're really trying to get rid of the whole Skywalker thing. You know what I mean? And I really don't have a problem with that. I don't need to see the Skywalkers.
In everything.
In everything, yeah. Right? Definitely, but I mean, do their story justice.
Yeah,
tell that decent story. Don't just write
push
them
off to the side like they did in how do you take the most iconic characters and just they're not important to this.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of ego.
Yeah.
That's in that. Somebody thinking that I'm gonna fix Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my own thing. And there's so many agendas about that too that I think are really affecting the content, and it's not great.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of those things that are kind of pointed to in this in Ahsoka. I think my favorite character so far is Baylan. Baylan's cool.
Definitely.
And unfortunately, Ray Stevenson passed away.
Very recently.
Yeah, very recently on some another film, I think. And so I hope they don't squash his character, but he was obviously onto something bigger.
They'll have to recast him.
Yeah, they'd have to. I think they couldn't not follow up with what he was doing because you think about why he was talking about different kinds of power that he wanted, and he was talking about the cycles. I already watched the Republic fall. I already watched the Empire fall. And there's another power struggle, and then that's gonna fall. And he's like, I don't want to deal with those cycles. I want to know where the actual power that's controlling that is. And I think that's the ones, because he's talking about that a lot, and then he talks about how he's on that planet and the sisters were there, the Night Sisters were there. They were slumbering, and then they wanted to get away from that planet for some reason, and he's drawn here for some reason. And then also I think that kind of justifies also why Ahsoka and Sabine are still there, because they're I think our purpose is here.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of at first I was like, this is stupid. You guys released Thrawn,
right?
And he's gonna destroy the universe, maybe, or the galaxy, wherever, and you guys are just gonna move on and let it happen. But I think there's a lot more going on here. I think that the mother is the real threat, that's bigger than Thrawn. That's bigger than Palpatine. That's supposed to be a bigger threat than all of these, than everything. So I think the Thrawn might just be a small piece of the puzzle if it's where it's going,
Right.
So and you see Baylan at the very end. He's on top of the statues.
Yeah,
that's the father.
Yeah,
and the son, and then
next to him,
the daughter is
headless.
Right. Yeah. So and then in the Clone Wars, the Anakin, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan, they meet him, and it's a big thing, man. It's a big so it's really cool to see these Easter eggs thrown in.
Right.
I think Dave is setting up a lot. I'm on first name basis with Dave Filoni, by the way, but he's setting up a lot of things that could be happening. Obviously, these are all theories. Maybe we're not right at all, but it just seems like they're playing into at least somewhat those stories. You know what I mean?
I would agree. Yeah.
And then I'm really I just Baylan's was my favorite stuff. I can't wait to see what he's after, what he's going after, what he finds.
Yeah, and he was a great character. I mean, he's very kind of stoic. He had this kind of wisdom about him. He was a Sith, but he really wasn't evil.
Yeah, not really.
You know, I mean, he wasn't going around just trying to kill and slaughter everything.
For the hell of it. Like he's for the reason he was, whatever his reasons are. You know, and even his lightsaber's kind of orange, it's not really red if you actually look at it. And he's so he's not really like there to like cause chaos.
Yeah,
he wants what he's drawn to.
Yeah,
whatever's on that planet. You know?
Right. Yeah, and I wonder what his deal is, or what he's kind of training his. I think what her name is
Shin.
Shin. That's right. Shin. Thank you, Shin. Yeah, like what is he like training her for, setting her up for? Because he said that he's training her not to be a Sith or not to be like everything that's come before. Just like Ahsoka said about Sabine. Like I don't need her to be a Jedi. When you say that to.
Yang, he was like she's not a Jedi.
Right. It's like, I don't need her to be. And he basically said the same thing about Shin. So that might be something that kind of comes together at some point as well.
That would be something completely different thing, you know, a different order or whatever.
Yeah. And then Ahsoka even offered her hand to her like towards the end of at the end of the series, like, I can help you.
Right.
We don't have to, she was saying we don't have to fight. So both those Padawans kind of got a bit of an olive branch from the masters.
Yeah.
But I'm curious.
Because it seems like they're not quite at odds right now.
Yeah.
It seems like they're three different groups. It's her and Sabine, and then it's Baylan, and then it's Shin. She's on her own also kind of too now.
Yeah.
And so they're all kind of different parties. I'm sure whatever's going on this planet will cause them to come into conflict, maybe.
Right.
But right now, they're just there. You know what I mean? And Baylan's really the only one who's onto something, it seems like. And I was just so curious about that. Because like cause the first time you watch, it's kind of like what the hell is this? Like was he even like what's the point? What was Baylan's point? What was the point of his whole story?
Yeah.
But you actually like watch, it's like, oh, he's serving a higher purpose, or he has a higher goal than what's on the surface. And I now at this point, I don't even really care what happens. I care more about what's on this planet, because this is something undiscovered territory.
Yeah.
Versus them fighting Thrawn again, which they already did in Rebels, and it's gonna be another fight. And I'm sure it'll be cool, and there's probably gonna be more to it than that.
Yeah.
But I really want to know what's going on this planet, and why the Night Sisters wanted to run away,
right?
And why Baylan wants to stay.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm really curious about. So.
Yeah. So do you think Thrawn, kind of a slight change, Thrawn is going to end up, starting the First Order essentially? He'll go back to our galaxy, so to speak, and he'll, start the First Order or
yeah, I'm sure he's gonna help with it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna, because he obviously wasn't in the sequel movies, so who knows where he was at during this whole...
he'll probably be dead by that point, but
I'm pretty sure I'm sure he has a hand in it. And this is like an issue that I've been having with the Disney series. Like they're trying their best to justify the sequels. Like Mandalorian Season 3 had a ton of that shit. Like it was all like the cloning stuff. I'm like, oh, so this is how Snoke was probably made, and this is how, with the cloning and all this stuff. And I was like, with the Force, whatever magic show, whatever that shit was. And they're trying really hard to make it to make the sequels make sense. And that I don't like that. Like you guys effed up.
Exactly.
And there's no like, oh, this was the plan the whole time. No, you guys made a shitty series of movies.
Right.
And you're trying to
the foundation is falling apart. It's crumbling, and you guys are running around with duct tape trying to hold it together, making up these silly stories to make it fit.
It kind of feels like, and this is, I guess it's kind of the same thing, like how the prequel movies aren't great. Like however you cut it, man, I don't think they're great. They're not great. There's some cool things in them, but they're not great. But Clone Wars made it better. Like Clone Wars, Rebels, the in-between stuff, I think has made it better.
Right.
I think it's made people appreciate Hayden Christensen more now that he's back.
Big time.
It's really done a lot for that. Not saying those are good. They're still shitty if you go back and watch them, but it's made those better. But these supporting series for the sequel series aren't even really that good either. So they're trying to add the stuff to the foundation that isn't even good.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't even know what. Yeah, so it really bothers me. So I think that is where they're going, because they're still trying to tie things in. But there's another theory that people are thinking that the Night Sisters has something to do with bringing Palpatine back to life, like they used Force magic to bring him back to life.
Because clearly they can reresurrect the dead.
Yeah. Which is that's a thing that happens in Clone Wars, happens in the games, and so that's a thing they can do. I don't know if it translated that great in this series, but they can. They have that ability, you know. And people are saying that's how Palpatine survived. So they're trying to really like push like this is why it all happened, because like the Rise of Skywalker didn't make sense at all the shit they put in there,
right?
And so they're trying to like justify it, I think.
That's those movies were so scattered. Like they had people coming in, they all had their own direction they were trying to run, and they never. It seemed like they didn't think about trying to tie it all together to make it make sense.
Hey, wouldn't it make sense to plan out those 3 movies and how they all match up? Not grab 3 different directors and be like, you guys all do. You follow this guy, what he did, and then you add on what he did. Like,
and each one's like, no, I can save Star Wars. I'm what Star Wars needs.
Yeah. It seems like there's a lot of that in the leadership of Star Wars right now. It's like I know what's best for it.
Right. A lot of egos, man. And you guys did not build it. You guys did not build Star Wars. Star Wars was this awesome thing that these guys had come on board and with their egos, with the hubris. Thinking,
I can take to the next level. I know it better than the guy who made it.
Yeah.
Like get your head all the way out of your ass, please.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's I keep forgetting her name, but the one that's doing the Acolyte series, she was talking a lot of crap about George Lucas and how he's not the only one who knows what Star Wars is, and like the dude made it, man. Like,
right. So
he does. Yeah, he is the authority. Like he is. Right.
That's where the buck stops.
Yeah, and the reason why this property is as big as it is because of him.
Yeah.
Like the first trilogy are masterpieces. They're groundbreaking.
Yeah.
They're groundbreaking, and there will never be. I think. There won't be a lot of things that are like that that have caused like this long term like change in media. To think that you know better than the guy that did that. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Right. Show some respect.
It's really ridiculous. But anyway, so that's like point being. I really like what Dave Filoni's like Easter eggs and what he's setting up potentially. If he can pull it off, that's another discussion, If it's going to be great, if the execution is going to be great, that remains to be seen. But what he is potentially setting up, I think, is amazing. Yeah, pretty exciting. Yeah.
Let me think. I'm trying to think what else I liked about it. I mean, one thing. Well, before I ask that, in regards to the movies, all the 3 different generations of movies that they put out. You're talking about the prequels. As time has gone by, people like Hayden Christensen. I mean, I think everybody likes him. Everybody they don't have anything bad to say about him. I think maybe when those movies came out, some people might have said something. Do you think there's a possibility that these last 3 movies, if time goes by, that people are going to look at them favorably? Or is it just in comparison? Maybe they put out another 3 movies that are even worse.
Oh, than these 3.
Right. Is that the standard? Is it time or is it worse product that makes, the previous thing better?
Oh, that's I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know because I don't like the prequels very much, but like the lightsaber fights are better than probably anything we've gotten.
Definitely, I would agree.
There's a lot of cool characters, like Mace Windu is one of my favorite Jedi, and we got that from that. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things in there, but yeah, I don't know. Like time doesn't necessarily make those ones better, but I think the supporting stuff that's come out since then.
Yeah, you think that's what's...
I think it helps.
Yeah.
I think it helps. And, I don't know. I have a hard time thinking that people are going to look back on the sequels and be like, they weren't bad.
Yeah, that's my thing, too. But again, it's hard to say because I don't know if I would have made the same comment when the prequels came out. But looking back on... Well, I don't know. Maybe with the prequels because those felt a little more... epic in scale. I think George Lucas still had his hand on that.
Yeah, and that was still his. I think that was still his thing. Yeah.
And now it just seems so like polluted right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if these, as time goes by, if we're gonna look at the last 3 movies.
Yeah.
And
I mean, at the very least, George Lucas did what he wanted with those prequels. Like, that's exactly what he wanted to do. And I was like,
some of it wasn't great, but
no, a lot of it wasn't great. But he got to do what he wanted to do with these sequels. I don't think anybody got to do what they wanted to do except for freaking Kathleen Kennedy, who was running the show, And I think that's where the issue was at.
Right.
And to just pass the torch without giving respectful nod to where it came from is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, all these characters were not taken care of.
And the weird thing too is, and we'll get back on track, I swear, everybody. like Kathleen Kennedy, I think she was there like almost from the start. I think she was always involved with, Lucas.
Yeah, I think she was like an assistant at some point.
Yeah,
like she started
like
out at the
that,
very bottom, and then she kind of became close to George Lucas, and then she's been a part of it, for a very long time.
Right. She's been there, and it makes me feel like she had been there the whole time and was just mad, just hated what was going on, and like just like seething underneath. And now that she's got a chance to, take it over and do what she wants with it, she's just like, like a bull in a china shop, just smashing everything.
What if she's like biding her time the whole time? Like,
right. I mean,
when he's out and I'm on top, I'm gonna do what I want with
exactly. I'm gonna work my way up to the top, take over
20
everything.
years from now, I'm
gonna play the long game.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna like do what I want with this thing. That's how it feels. I have a very hard time believing that she is like a real fan of Star Wars. I think she's a fan of the having an audience that she can maybe insert her own agenda into, like the millions and millions of fans that are out there. She can instantly shove whatever she wants to push, or whatever narrative she wants to push, immediately on a fan base that's already there, that's already it's
already built
gonna
in.
consume it immediately. So I mean, that's how it feels, and I don't know her. I don't know anything about her, not really.
Yeah.
But again, just from the outside looking in, that's how it
seems
feels,
like.
right?
It's very exactly. That's exactly what it feels like. Very insensitive to what's been built.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And that's what bugs me the most, right?
And I do not have the confidence to go make your own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you go make your own thing, do whatever the fuck you want, man.
Right,
because it's your thing.
Right.
Like, but
it's so easier to take. I'm just gonna go ahead and take those millions of fans that are right there, as opposed to earning them myself,
and put it in front of the most people that I can with my own spin on it.
Yeah.
Which stupid. Like, your spin's stupid.
Yeah,
spin back,
your spin does not work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I feel like people are gonna like cheer so much when she's no longer involved. And there's no telling if and when that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it's like they can't admit that they've made a mistake. But
they won't. Yeah.
But that's
But here's what's worse though, is the doubling down.
Yeah.
Like,
hey
everybody, Daisy Ridley is coming back for another movie.
Like, what? Who asked for that?
Why?
Why?
Go back and remake episode 7. That's what we want you guys to do.
Right,
like, go back and remake that.
You want to bring her back for that? Do it.
Yeah. I'll bring her back and remake the movie. That's cool. Like, bring her back.
Say it was all a dream.
Yeah. Make Daisy Ridley and Kylo Ren be Jason and Jaina Solo, like the twins from the books. And then, start over. Start fresh. They look like they could be brother and sister. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like nobody would care. We'd all be like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
All that other stuff is gone? Okay, fine. We'll do it.
Start over.
Okay.
Just give us a fresh start. You know what I mean? Like a blank slate. But and it's just the continuing to push what nobody wants.
Right. And that's what these series have been doing.
Yeah.
They've been, like you said, they've been trying to fix the mess ups from the movies.
Yeah.
And that's what all these shows have been. At least these, the last,
especially the recent ones, man.
Yeah, the
like
recent ones definitely.
Season 3 was so
right.
So
that's
horrible, man.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was like, is that what I watched? I was like, what's going on here? I'm supposed to be excited. I'm supposed to love this, Yeah. So that kind of crap, you know what I mean? So I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah. Let me see. Something else that I did like. I like that they seem like they were kind of bringing back the concept that in theory anyone can be a Jedi.
No,
opposed.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
No, that was like George Lucas' thing. Like everyone is connected to the Force,
right?
And some people are naturally talented, like Anakin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
and again, like all the Padawans that they find and that they bring to, or people that they turn into Padawans, all those younglings that they find and they bring to the Jedi Temple. They obviously have more talent than the average, and it's not about your midichlorian count or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just about hard work and discipline. It's almost like being a professional athlete or a basketball player or whatever. Someone has more talent and natural abilities than others, but that does not mean that someone else can't work hard and be good at it.
Yeah, I think hard work.
Lee.
Yeah, there you go. I think
I
think hard work for me, I think always wins out.
Will always.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So and that was at first I was like, why are they just handing this to Sabine? Like, why does she get to like be a Jedi now?
Right.
And then I was like, yeah, that was George Lucas's original like idea about the Force connecting everybody.
And was that in the Rebel series? Did she at some point did Sabine start getting trained to be a?
No, not at all.
Right, because I mean they did that with Ezra's character, so that seems like okay, we've got that right now. So this is something that happened, you know, in between. The
10-year period. Yeah, exactly. So, so now that I'm looking back at that though, like that, I think that's a pretty famous interview that George gave. I think about how the Force works, you know, it makes sense. I'm like, okay, yeah. So she's had to work at it, like she had to really work. And
she was working at it, right?
Yeah.
She did not feel the connection. She couldn't move anything. I mean, there was nothing. And I did like that scene where she and Ahsoka were training with the sticks.
Oh yeah,
you know, and it was just one of these things where she was trying to get a sense for where she was. She couldn't feel her, and within that little window, she progressed slightly. Yeah, you know what I mean. There were some improvements there, so something was working. You know, so I like the concept that maybe if you just have a trainer, a teacher, someone that can, you know, foster. That energy or that power and ability in you, then you can wield the Force. Yeah, you can access you can be a Jedi or Sith, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever you want to do. But yeah, that was cool. That was a cool way to approach that too, and I thought that was great. Yeah. After taking a step back, I'm like, okay, this is cool. Yeah. Like at first, I was like, oh, this is an agenda thing. Like Sabine wasn't Force sensitive ever, and now she can do the Force. And I was like, but it plays into that, you know. And I think Filoni has a big connection to George Lucas, like they're buddies. You know, that was like his protege, basically. You know, so that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, let me see what else did I like. I liked the fight scene. It was a lot of the fight scenes were kind of like, whatever.
Yeah, very slow.
Yeah, right. But I did like the one between Ahsoka and Morgan. Yeah, that one I actually like that.
And do you know who she is in real life?
Yeah, she's like a real martial artist.
Yeah, her name is Morgan Lee something.
Is her name actually
her
Morgan?
Her name's Lee because she was raised by the Lee family.
Oh, like
Bruce Lee. Yeah, Bruce Lee's family.
Holy crap.
So like she's like a martial artist. She's a stunt woman.
Right. And when I was watching the fight scene, I'm like, that seems like it's her, but that can't be her.
Yeah, no, that's her.
Because she was moving really well. You know, much better than probably anybody else in that show.
Yeah, on the whole show. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
and she's like in her 50s or something like that.
Yeah, so she was handling business, and I had to look it up who she was, and I found that out. I was like, she's from the Bruce Lee's family. Yeah,
that's nuts.
Or she's like raised by Bruce Lee's family. So yeah,
like I said, the only thing I knew that she was a martial artist, or that she did have that skill, but.
Right, that's pretty dope. So it makes sense now. It adds up.
That's pretty dope. So, and she was great in that fight scene. It looked great. I think she was probably doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah,
you know.
Most
scene.
definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely a highlight. That was a great fight scene.
Yeah.
What else did I like? You know what? I was kind of happy. And I'm going to ask you this too, because I kind of asked Danny and I didn't get an answer back from him. Danny, I know you're listening right now. I still love you. Don't even trip, man. Don't even trip. Like I was kind of happy in a sense, for the fans of Rebels, because I would imagine they are fans of Ezra.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm seeing Ezra pop up. And he looks cool. He's got like a full beard and all that kind of crap. He looks like he's like a Bedouin.
Ariana was joking, and she was like, "Oh, he looks like either Jesus or a disciple of Jesus." So yeah, every episode she's like, "Oh, like hey, there's Simon Peter or whatever." She's just saying random disciple names. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a cool look.
Yeah. It looks like 10 years have gone by, you know, for him.
Yeah. How old was he though? Because maybe he's just like, you know, he's one of those people that grows a beard and mustache.
Maybe,
because he's got to be like in his like 20s or something.
Yeah, I think he was like 14 or 15 at the end of Rebels. Yeah.
I mean, it's not impossible for someone in their 20s to have like a full-on beard like that.
If he is then obviously Star Wars universes are weird. The guy that played him obviously is of Middle Eastern descent. So
yeah.
And then Ezra is pretty tan in the Rebels, so maybe that's the equivalent. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. That's true. true. That's
true.
true.
I mean, grew up on like a desert planet. Lothal is a desert
it's all
planet,
good.
so.
I mean, I honestly don't care. I mean, it was cool. He looked great. I'm just curious how I was happy for fans to see a live action Ezra.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about how fans of Ezra perceived
this live action guy.
Yeah, this live action, because he was very, and I'm dipping into negatives.
Yeah.
But he was very, I don't know, like unimpressive, I guess is a way to put it. Like, you've been there for 10 years approximately, right?
Yeah.
This long has been?
Yeah.
I mean, I would have expected, just from what I've seen of Rebels and what I feel like I get from other people, I feel like he would have been training or doing something. And I guess maybe he trained on some levels. He's like, the Force is my ally. That's great.
That's true.
But I feel like he wasn't like
super impressive.
Yeah.
You think, and like he's on the same planet as Thrawn. Like,
right. Like, how do you guys not Thrawn? How are you not going after him?
How are you not looking for him?
Right.
You have a Death Star. Or I mean, you have a Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
How have you not? Like,
that was really weird. And he
for 10
clearly
years?
wasn't that far. Yeah, for 10 years.
10 years.
He wasn't that far away, because Sabine on the wolf dog.
Yeah.
She found him like within like a day, maybe?
The same day.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So he wasn't that far away.
Yeah.
They were like looking at each other like, Thrawn was looking down. Is that Ezra?
At the very least,
and Ezra's looking up. Is that Thrawn?
At the very least, Ezra had to have seen the ship. Like, and you could see all that stuff going on.
And I think he said he was trying to avoid them. He didn't get too close. But still, you would think like,
weren't you preparing?
Yeah,
for something?
go look and find her. Yeah, the reason why you trapped Thrawn there in the first place was because he was a threat of some kind. So I was almost expecting what Obi-Wan Kenobi, could have, should have been.
Yeah.
You're in the desert. You got this menace out there, and you're gonna, bulk up, getting ready for it, because this guy's still got to get taken out.
Yeah.
He's still a threat, or whatever the case may be. So I don't know. You're fighting. You're doing something. You're I don't know what. I mean, I guess he must have been doing something, because he did have, he had some sort of connection with the Force. I mean, when he does start fighting, and he didn't take his lightsaber back, which was, man, again, I'm dipping into the negatives, but I
was guessing because he hadn't had a lightsaber for 10 years, so maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, which again, that is like,
using
dude,
the Force
I mean,
push,
you're a Jedi. Like, pick up a stick and train. I mean, talk to, what's his teacher's name?
Oh, Kanan.
Yeah, Kanan. Yeah,
Caleb.
Yeah, talk to his Force ghost. Like, summon him. Do something. I don't know. Do something, my friend. But you're a Jedi. Get to work.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like, I've never liked Ezra in general. Like, Rebels isn't my favorite series. I like Clone Wars much better than Rebels, but a lot of people like Rebels more than Clone Wars. Like a lot of people do.
Yeah,
and that's cool. But Ezra has never been a character that I really cared about at all.
Yeah, it seemed like a very superficial, like, not well thought out character.
Yeah, he was just,
because even when I saw Rebels when it first came out, I was thinking like, oh, they're gonna turn this kid into a Jedi. Yeah, like episode 1 kind of thing. So
yeah, he's like a very capable kid that Kanan like saw and was like, oh, I can train this kid. But I've never cared about Ezra. It's never been a character that I cared about. He was just a whiny kid to me, like a whiny I know everything kid, like every other kid, but so I've never been a big fan of him, and when I saw him in this, like, it was just the same. I was like, cool, I guess, but it doesn't do anything for me. So I didn't miss you. You know what I mean? And apparently neither did the actress that played Sabine, because that reunion was just like,
God, that was the worst thing. That made no sense. And I watched the series twice. I mean, I watched it when it came out, then I watched it again, and that's one of those things I keep hearing on the internet, people talking about, like, you guys have been separated for, 10 years. Yeah. Like, and maybe you guys are, it's cool that you're just friends. You don't have to be anything more than that. Yeah. But it from both of them, it seemed like there was like, hey,
like, you saw each other last week.
What are you doing here? Yeah, like, I was looking for you. Hug. And that was it. It wasn't like a
emotional, like, the whole reason why you put the galaxies in danger.
Yeah, right.
Is to find Ezra. Right. And that's the reunion we get.
Right. For all, everything you've been trying, everything that we've been watching so far has been to get to Ezra, and then you see Ezra, and you're like,
cool, hey, buddy.
Right.
Like, what? You don't care. Like, you clearly don't. And you, like, for going forward, everything that Thrawn does is your fault at this point. Like
that's
everything that happens now is your fault. So it better be worth it.
Right.
This didn't look worth it. Yeah. Like, you guys didn't seem like you liked each other.
Yeah. And I feel like too, like when Thrawn gets back there, like for me with the last 3 movies that came out, one of the things like right out of the gate, like within the first like a minute of that very first movie, The Force Awakens or whatever, I looked at it sideways because, all right, so the rebels win. The last thing we see, the rebels win. We did it. Great. And then this movie starts. Oh, the rebels are gone.
First Order is taking over.
Yeah, the Empire-ish or Empire-esque is back, and the rebels are rebels again. I'm like, to me, it felt like somebody just had like, oh, when I was a kid, I had these stories spinning in my head about, Star Wars and the rebels and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't want to change it. So we're going to bring the Empire back. They're back in charge. We'll call them something different.
And the
rebels are rebels again.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, that felt very lazy.
Which didn't make any sense because like there's a new republic. You guys are still in charge. But why are you guys the rebels again? You know,
right? Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense. Like it should have been the First Order should have been the rebels.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been a great.
That would have been awesome.
We should have wrote Star Wars.
Yeah, we should. We should still write Star Wars. We should still write Star Wars.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I do agree 100%. So, and Ahsoka is at first she seems like she might be disappointed that Sabine, went with these guys to get Ezra back and all that kind of stuff. But she kind of has her own rethinking, and she's like, you had to, whatever you did it for a reason. Blah blah blah. She was happy to see Ezra too. I get it, but yeah, that is the real thing though. That you've released this monster. You've opened Pandora's box, and you sent it
away.
Yeah, now, you don't got to deal with it.
You don't got to deal with it now.
Yeah,
and that's why the ending kind of bothered me a little bit. And I get, grand scheme of things, they're obviously here for a reason. There's something going to go on this planet that's going to be very important. I get that.
Yeah.
But in this situation, the ending was so abrupt. It was just like, we need to move on. Like, what do you mean move on? You just fucked the Republic.
Right.
You screwed everybody else.
Yeah.
And you're going to move on?
Right.
Tell that to the people that you just sent him after.
And that was the one thing, like everybody, whether, they kind of butted heads. Everybody kind of butted heads, like Hera and the senators.
Right, yeah.
They all butted heads, but the one underlining thing that they all agreed with is, thank God Thrawn's not here.
Yeah.
Or Thrawn, whatever his name was. Yeah, but thank God he's not here. And now you've just sent him. Now he's there.
Yeah.
So it's like everything that they were trying to do, the sacrifice that apparently Ezra made in the first place to get rid of Thrawn, you threw all that away.
Yeah.
And I hated that Ezra was so lackluster with everything. Like he's talking to Sabine and he's like, where's Ahsoka? And he's like, Sabine's like, So, I can't wait to go home. Like, what do you're not going to tell the guy that we're not going home, that we're stuck here?
That you did this for a reason.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to live with it.
Right, yeah.
Like, where are the consequences in this? Like, even, did they never, like, Sabine never confronted that, hey, yeah, I made a big sacrifice. I sacrificed, really,
that galaxy over there.
And it's never like I did the wrong thing, and Ahsoka doesn't even come down on her like, hey, you fucked up a little bit. Right. And I get it. But that's the point of being a hero.
Yeah.
You have to choose.
Right. That's
there's consequences. And there's just no it was just like, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
And then say the Force told me to do it, or the Force. If I did it, the Force, it's okay because it's the Force.
And you see, like, there's some growth moments with Sabine with, like, the Force stuff and becoming a better Padawan. That's
better
cool.
wielder of the Force, but
that's
her
cool,
character
but, like,
doesn't
her character
change.
didn't change at all. Like, she didn't learn anything. Like, so what really did you? Thank you. Right? Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, this is going back to like She-Hulk and the girl boss. Like, we're like I'm gonna do what I want and I'm always right. And then at the end of the thing, I was right.
Yeah.
So
no, you weren't.
No, you weren't.
No, you weren't.
You weren't right, and you didn't learn anything. And that's why that's why, like, Sabine's character, maybe it was the actress, maybe it was the lines, maybe it was like what she was told to do or perform, or what she was given. It could be any number of things.
Yeah.
But I just did not care at all about Sabine.
Yeah,
it was the whole time, from beginning to end.
Yeah, I don't know if they told them not to not to emote,
don't show emotions.
Don't show emotion or something. But they were all doing it.
Do the opposite of acting.
Yeah,
just don't show emotions.
Yeah, and the lady that was playing Sabine, it wasn't. Yeah, there was
nothing convincing about anything she was doing.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure if she was told to do that or that's her own ability. But it just did not come off as anything.
And then even Rosario Dawson. I mean, I'm a fan.
Dude, I will go to war for Rosario Dawson.
Right.
You know, but even in this, the amount of times she crossed her arms and just sat back and
just kind of looked
and I don't know. And she went
sized things up quietly.
Yeah, and then she went from Gandalf the Grey to Ahsoka the White. And
she did.
Or whatever.
After like a death moment,
exactly.
right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. So, nothing, even Ahsoka, like who the show should be about.
Yeah.
I didn't really care a lot about even like action sequences, acting, character changes. At the end of episode 5, when she wakes up in the world between worlds.
Yeah.
And you hear Anakin say, "Hey, Snips," or "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
I expect to see you here so soon.
Right?
Like that.
So soon. Yeah.
Like that. Like I was like, what? Like shit. I was like, I got the next episode because I watched it like up to when it was coming out. So like that blew my mind for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then like the flashbacks and the final lessons, like it felt more like a fan servicey thing versus like an actual great moment.
Yeah, I didn't catch much of the lesson, and I've heard some people breaking it down where it sounds like there possibly some really good moments in there.
Yeah,
and there was a cool moment too, and this isn't anything hidden. It's you can see it, where when they're fighting again, when they're in that world between worlds, literally, and they're going at it. And he pulls out the red lightsaber, and his eyes are like in Sith mode.
Yeah,
and there's a brief moment where Ahsoka's eyes go into Sith mode, also. And it's like, oh crap,
there's some
but then it fades away, and it's not really brought. Like I would have loved to have seen like maybe if she had some kind of guilt about not, and maybe they talk about this in Rebels, maybe I missed it. That she had some sort of guilt about not being able to save Anakin. Anakin seemed like that was like a guy that she loved and respected. And then again, like you have these kind of feelings for people that you care about. You want to be able to save them. You want to try to save them.
Yeah, she thinks that a lot because like she leaves the Jedi Order towards the end of the Clone Wars, and then he turns. So she thinks in a lot of ways if she would have stayed, maybe he wouldn't have turned. And there are those moments, that she has, but not really gotten into. There's so much there. There's so much there about your hero, your master, your brother,
teacher, your father,
whoever,
right? Yeah,
and does the most heinous thing ever, like turns and becomes this monster. Like there's so much in there. Just like there could have been so much for Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
like that was your pupil, man.
Yeah,
he destroyed everything. You know what I mean? Like that. There's so much in there. Where's it at?
Yeah.
Where's it at in these shows? Like where are those very important? Holy shit, man! Like where are those at? That's what I was waiting for.
And they're right there. It seems like it's so obvious. Like why would you?
That's a softball, man. It's a home run to get into those moments.
It's an underhanded pitch, right?
It's like it's like Babe Ruth at a T-ball like competition. So like
just knock it out of the park.
Yeah, just knock it
out of the park.
Yeah, it's so simple, man. And like it's never gotten into. Maybe they just it's too easy. We're not gonna get into that or whatever the case is. But that could be the focal point of both of those shows, and it wasn't at all really.
Yeah,
it was just kind of brushed over. And then like in the very end, like I didn't feel like moved when like Anakin's Force goes to the very end, and he's like, yeah, good job, Ahsoka. Good job at what?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to be feeling.
I think it's supposed to be that she didn't give up on her Padawan, and she reconnected with her Padawan and didn't give up. And
really,
it's supposed to be that. But I was like,
I mean, I like that Sabine kind of sensed.
Yeah. She sensed it, and then she's coming back to the Force. Understands the Force a little bit better. Feels like connection.
Right.
And they didn't give up on each other. And there's that great moment when she's like, "Yeah, Anakin stood by me, so I'm gonna stand by you." That's a great moment.
I agree with that.
But like that's not enough to like warrant the ending. I didn't understand that was the ending. I was like, "Oh shit, this is the end. Like this is the turn. This is the resolve." And I was like, "That was stupid."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's really weak like payoffs to me in a lot of the show.
Yeah.
You know, that was one of them. Another one that really bugged me, man, was that, and this is if you're a fan of Rebels, this makes sense. Like, say Ezra leaves when he's 15, right?
Yeah.
He leaves when he's 15. This is still during the Empire's reign. Like, he leaves during that, right?
Yeah.
Comes back with Thrawn, undetected on that ship, gets on a TIE fighter, one of the ships.
Yeah.
Flies away from the Star Destroyer undetected, finds the New Republic, which didn't exist when he left.
Right.
Like, how did he know where to go? He's using an imperial ship. Are there like maps in there about where the New Republic is? Is there information about does he even know this New Republic?
There shouldn't be, because that ship came from Thrawn's ship.
Thrawn's ship, which is from the old Empire. Yeah. So what? Thrawn's been gone too. So what does he know about?
He doesn't know anything about it either, too.
Yeah,
right?
So Thrawn may be filled in by Morgan or whatever, or the Night Sisters might know things, whatever. That's fine. Yeah. But like Ezra doesn't know shit about the New Republic. So like, how did he just find his way to Hera all of a sudden?
Yeah, and it could have been something too. Like I did realize that, and for whatever reason, I feel like they could have done more with it, but I didn't trip out too much about it. Because I don't feel like, it would have been interesting to see how he, because clearly he was dragging that stormtrooper away. Right. So clearly he took his uniform, and I'm guessing he killed him. I'm guessing he murdered him. Because otherwise he'd be like, "Hey, somebody stole my my stormtrooper costume." Yeah. So right. I'm assuming like after Ezra took his uniform, he woke him up, say, "Hey, I need to take your uniform," and he stabbed him and killed him. Probably cut his throat, disemboweled him. I don't know, Ezra. I don't know what he was doing.
Threw him in the trash chute.
Yeah, exactly.
There's the monster down there seeing you anyway, right?
Yeah, he's gonna eat him anyway. So no evidence. Then he takes the Imperial shuttle and scoots off. Like, I'd be more curious how he got to an Imperial shuttle and was able to fly away in the first place.
Yeah.
But I didn't trip too much about him, at least by the point in time that he gets away, that he was able to find somebody or something. To me, it's just, I felt like it's getting on, listening to comms, maybe he went somewhere, found something. Maybe there was like a span of time before he gets
Maybe. That's possible,
there. Yeah. But I 100% see what you're saying. Personally, I didn't trip out too much about it. It does go from like A to G. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff like, well, how did this happen? How did this happen?
Yeah.
But
I guess there's probably could. Yeah, that's right. That's fair to think about.
And I think the bottom line of it is, even if they did show, him going from, again, B, C, D, all the way up to G, the bottom line is he got away and he found
his way back to Hera.
Yeah, because that's there. Wherever. The New Republic's everywhere now. So
I guess
it just would have been like, hey.
Yeah, go there. That's where the fleet's at.
Yeah, that's where or
that's
something.
Where the military. Right. Whatever. I don't care. Yeah, I guess it could be that. But like, because they got to Dathomir. Thrawn did with the Night Sisters. Got to Dathomir, and that he left Dathomir like undetected, like nobody saw you.
Yeah, nobody cared. Yeah.
No one's doing inventory on the ships,
right? Because it sounds like those guys were down to like bare.
You guys had nothing.
Whatever. So like everything they've got to count on it.
Yeah.
We've only got 2 Imperial shuttles left. We had 40. We only got 2 left now.
I know.
This guy just took one.
Are you gonna trust a freaking old ass Imperial shuttle that hasn't had any maintenance in deep space, looking for the New Republic? I don't know.
I would.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't know, man. So that there's just for me, just the show itself. Like, if you didn't understand the Easter eggs and the implications of what's going on, what could be getting set up,
right?
The show would be very, very bland. I think.
Yeah, and everything the setup is in the last episode, like for what's to come.
Yeah,
again, talking about like the Wand and all this other stuff too, or the ones.
Yeah, the ones. Yeah,
that doesn't make sense. That can be more than one. Come on, guys. But all of that payoff comes in the very last episode. That's true. So you went through a lot of stuff in the meantime.
The rest of the show, to me, just felt pretty like just bland, like kind of mid.
Yeah.
We're using, who's that, Max?
Max. Yeah,
Max's words.
Thanks.
Yeah, very, very mid. Like, it just felt kind of just like slow burn.
Yeah.
And then slow burn off. Like, nothing huge, resolving, Yeah. And that's what I thought. Even for me, like, as deep as I am in Star Wars, as much as I understand about the expanded universe and what they're playing at, even with that, the journey to that was pretty damn bland. Like, most of the characters are bland. Action sequences are bland, and I don't know. Like I do, like Hera, like as like important as she is in the Rebels series, she was kind of just there.
Right. Yeah.
I felt like.
Could you have done all that stuff without?
Yeah, without
Hera,
her,
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved watching her walk away.
Yeah,
that was great. That was great.
So did the cameraman. Like, the cameraman, he understood the assignment. He understood the assignment. Yeah.
Get this. Yeah. Count on it, boss.
And Mary Elizabeth Winstead is great.
Yeah.
Ramona is the best. Yeah. So, but
all right.
But why was Hera in this? Like, other than because she was Dave Filoni's creation in Rebels,
right?
Like, it didn't seem like it was as important. Like every time I saw her, she was just talking to somebody.
Yeah, and then she brought her son.
Yeah, who's conveniently named Jason, which is the name of Han Solo and Leia's son, one of the twins in the expanded universe. You know, so
interesting.
Yeah, so
because I was wondering, like, why does this guy have a Christian name?
Yeah,
what's going on here?
Oh, it's like J-A-C-E-N, I think.
Oh, is it?
Jason.
Yeah, so clever.
But yeah. But
yeah, she brings her son into this, hostile environment. Yeah, just so he can be like, I sense something.
Yeah, I hear the lightsaber battle in the Elseworld or the World Between Worlds.
Yeah,
I'm like, do you? Another capable kid over here. Yeah, no short supply of those in this universe. But so I don't know. Just kind of a bland series. Like I was hoping for a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. I think. Well, I shouldn't say I think everybody was, but I think a lot of people were. And again, there were some cool moments, but I don't know. I feel like there were more just kind of like they were just kind of like, again, mid moments.
Yeah.
All the way throughout it. Like I liked this scene in the first episode where Sabine's on the bike. That looked great.
Yeah.
When that first episode, when I saw that, I thought, this looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
this is pretty cool.
And that whole stretch is in the Rebels. That highway thing is in Rebels a lot. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That tower. That's where Ezra used to live. And
really?
Yeah. And there's like that's all. Like that's great. When you first see that looked awesome. Yeah. When she's just flying on the speeder. Yeah.
Very cool.
I was like, this. Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, with this rock and roll music or whatever. Like
right. Yeah.
Showing us exactly who Sabine is. I was like, yeah, okay, that's
all right. I'm down. So
perfect.
Far, so good.
And now's the last.
Yeah.
His last one that I cared.
Okay. So then again, going back to that first episode. All right. So Sabine gets stabbed with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Like, and then you're okay like a day later kind of thing? Like, for one, you should just be dead. You get stabbed with a lightsaber, that just means you're dead.
Look what happened to Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, right? And
dead,
it did just, boop. Dead.
Yeah.
And I would have been able to accept it more maybe if, like, Sabine had blocked it. And
deflected it into another part of the body.
And then it hit her kind of thing. Yeah. Like it wasn't, but that was a very deliberate, straight up strike through her body. She held it.
It's kind of higher up, right?
It was low. It was low. But either way, like there's stuff that's flowing in that little spot that's no longer flowing there. There's a big burnt hole there.
Oh, yeah.
And she stabs her, and it wasn't like it was like a quick poke. She stabbed her, held it like, okay, just so you know, I got you.
Yeah.
Right? You agree? Great. And then she took it out. Right? So she had it in there for a second. And to me, whenever you see a lightsaber hit like a droid, like it's molten, right? The part that's cut in half, it's molten.
Yeah.
So you got to take into account like something just went into her that was 2,000, 3,000 degrees. I don't know.
Maybe,
some sort of plasma of some
Kelvins?
sort.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably on the Kelvin.
I mean, I'm thinking like, like a lightning, like a love of a lightning strike kind of heat.
Yeah, like 1.21 gigawatts.
Right into you. You can't take 1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's what you need to travel through time.
Right. Yeah.
Think your human meat bag body can take that?
Right. Not at all. Not at all.
Like in episode 1, when like they're cutting through the blast doors with the lightsabers. Those are metal blast doors.
Right.
Those are stronger than the human body.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
A little bit. Let me tell you. Trent is a metallurgist, everybody, so he can testify.
Yes, I can.
So let me tell you, steel is much harder than
skin
a human
and bones.
Body.
Yeah.
Let me write that down. I think he's right. Let me check. Let me check that.
By God, he's on something.
So you would think. I mean, I was just doing the math. Like I shouldn't say the math, but I was just thinking like something that hot going into you one, I mean, there should have just been a hole in her period, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm thinking, like, how does a lightsaber work necessarily, right? So if it goes in, does the heat radiate? Does the heat stay right there?
Oh, yeah.
Because maybe, clearly the heat is it's in some sort of magnetic bottle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the reason why you can have a lightsaber and it's like the energy just doesn't blow up everywhere.
Yeah, it just stays in the beam.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it does. Maybe it just stays within that tube, so to speak. But otherwise, I'm thinking, like, if something that hot goes into you, all the soft tissue around you, like if you put something in you that is 5,000 degrees, like everything around the heat's going to spread.
It's going to vaporize it.
Right. Like heat spreads, everybody write that down. So to me, I'm thinking like, okay, that hole that's there's a hole. And at least for like a little bit around that area, like all the tissue, organs, that soft meat that's in there, burnt.
Yeah.
Or so it was annoying when I saw it. You know what I mean? That really kind of like, she's still alive and she just like took a knee after she got stabbed with that thing. She just dropped. I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. So once I saw that, I was like, geez, this is what we're doing.
Plot armor.
Yeah, big.
That's why I
big
didn't
time.
kill her. Yeah,
big time. And again, I've got no problem with her. I have a little bit of problem with her taking a lightsaber hit, period, right? But, I mean, again, they use these things to take down metal droids, doors.
At walkers.
Yeah, I mean, those things are for, it's like for cutting like heavy machinery.
Yeah.
You can't touch that. If she had gotten hit lightly with it, I would have been... Okay, I can maybe see. Maybe she got hit lightly with it. Wasn't that bad? And she needs to get helped. And she's recuperating. I would have taken that, but that was a straight up
fully impaled.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a quick one. It wasn't like a quick poke. It was like I stabbed it into you. I'm going to hold it here just for a second, take a photo, and then I'm going to take it out again. So
yeah, I mean, if you really want to kill it, wouldn't you just bring the thing down or up or
I know, right? Yeah,
whatever, because you're already in there.
You're already in there,
and these things just cut through butter,
Right.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is just flick your wrist, and it's
sliced in half,
and you're done.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of annoying in that first episode. I'm trying to think what else I liked about it, but I mean, I didn't. And here, with all the stuff I'm saying, I didn't hate the series. I didn't hate it overall. I'm trying to think if I would watch it again. If I watched like Clone Wars and Rebels and I got caught up and I looked for all the Easter eggs. I mean, I kind of did some homework, so I know about, again, episode 8. There's a lot of big things that they set up in episode 8, but everything else in between, not so much.
And, it doesn't really matter. It feels like, yeah, I agree 100%, man.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it too. I was, and this is another case that I was really excited about it.
Right.
And same
Ahsoka, fan favorite, Dave Filoni
in charge.
It was all
the pieces were there, and it just kind of was a little flat.
Yeah, I mean, it's a. I mean, if you just want to watch an action thing or just like some sort of adventure, and not weigh it out too much. I thought Thrawn's supposed to be this genius. Like, why are you doing the stuff you're doing? Like, why are you only sending like 1 or 2 units? Why are the TIE fighters crashing into a ship that they see coming and they're pilots?
How are you missing by shooting the lasers from the Star Destroyer?
Yeah.
And then it didn't work. Ground assault.
He's all rain hellfire.
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't work?
They saw him. Okay, let's just send some troops out there. That's not gonna. Is that gonna? Yeah. So.
And I mean, and they were saying like he was trying to stall for time, but I mean, if you just kill him.
And it seems like there's some theories about him wanting the stormtroopers to die because all those things that he's loading onto the Star Destroyer, they look like coffins. So people are thinking that he's just going to bring an undead army back to the
I've heard that people are suspecting it is more of the what are they called, Night Witches, or what are they called?
Oh, the Night Sisters. Yeah,
Night Sisters. Yeah,
from Dathomir.
Yeah, that was another theory that I heard, that it's those Night Sisters that he's loading up, and he's going to bring them over there. And he's going to have like this powerful ass group. Army. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that could be it too. Because he found those 3 on this planet, which is cool about this planet, because like the Dathomir is like, that's where the Night Sisters are known to be. Yeah, that's where Darth Maul comes from. That's that planet. But for them to go to this even
Darth Maul came from that planet?
Dathomir, yeah, the males.
How did he get over into like our galaxy?
Dathomir,
Dathomir. Okay, Dathomir is
is where Thrawn ends up at the end of the series. Yeah, that's where they fly to.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, to find that there's Night Sisters on this even more ancient planet.
Yeah.
Is a mystery in itself too.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, definitely. So
yeah, I know one thing that I was that I was kind of hoping to see, or maybe not in this episode or this series, but I was hoping to see at some point. Two things. One, I was hoping to see at some point Cal Kestis make an appearance.
Man, I've been waiting for that.
He's
forever.
right there. I mean, the actor is right there,
Literally.
and he looks
like him.
He looks just like himself.
Sounds like him.
He looks just like himself. He sounds just like himself.
Yeah.
Just grab him and get him in there.
Same period.
Just throw him in there. Do that. So I'm looking forward to him, and that would be great. I think people would love the fuck out of that.
Yeah. Cal Kestis is one of my favorites because those are amazing.
I mean, those games are very popular. I think he's a favorite with a lot of people.
Yeah, he's a cool character. I like him a lot. Yeah.
And then I was kind of hoping and thinking that Darth Vader's Padawan or Darth Vader's apprentice. I can't think of his name either.
His real name, they call him Starkiller, but his real name was I forgot. Yeah.
And the actor is Sam something.
Sam Witwerth?
Yes.
And that dude
guy's a fan.
Dude, that guy is the biggest Star Wars fan. That guy knows the biggest. In and out.
Yeah.
His explanations.
You could put him up there with any of them.
Yeah, Google him or check him out on YouTube, man. His explanations of shit is so in depth. It's crazy how much he knows. This guy loves Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he cares about, seems like.
Right. And then when they had that one guy, it wasn't Murdoch, but Murdoch, or anyways, there was a point where there were 3 Sith that we were seeing. I'm like, holy shit, I thought there was supposed to be a master and apprentice. But there was this guy that was all cloaked up. And he had the Inquisitor style lightsaber.
People were like, oh, who's that guy?
And I was thinking, that's him. Maybe that's him. Maybe they got together.
Right.
And they're working together.
People were thinking that was him. People were thinking that was Ezra. People were thinking it was like, it could have been any, but
Ooh, Ezra. Ooh, that would have been nasty. That was Ezra. That would have been really effed up.
Right. But there's like a lot of theories about it. And then he was just like a freaking.
He was, like this.
Magic. Like a dust.
Right.
He was just some.
And I mean, they have to explain that at some point. So maybe it will be Starkiller. Maybe he did like the thing that Luke did where he kind of projected himself. That stupid thing that Luke did, or I'm sorry, that Jake Skywalker did. Where he projected himself across the galaxy to fight. Maybe it's a similar situation. Maybe this guy did something like that. But I mean, there is some really interesting possibilities between getting Starkiller, Ahsoka, and Luke all together.
Yeah.
How weird would that be?
Yeah.
How weird would that be?
Yeah.
But I know this wasn't our typical this episode, man. We were just kind of
talking about Star Wars,
all just going off
our gripes and our
that's what Star Wars does to people.
Yeah, it does for sure. So we're getting pretty long here. So how'd you rate it?
I'm gonna give it a 77.
77? Okay.
Yeah. What are you gonna give it?
Yeah, I'm probably sitting at like a 70.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I feel like you bumped it up
from where I was gonna be. Because I really like what is potentially gonna come out of it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for what they're gonna unpack.
Yeah.
If they do it right.
Yeah.
And Kathleen Kennedy doesn't touch it.
Yeah.
But outside of that, though, pretty bland show overall. So I'll take it. 70 is probably, that's an okay rating. I'll watch it. But I don't think you need to jump on this one and stream right away. Just watch it when you get a chance. I'm probably going to go back and watch Andor because I like that one a lot more.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. But, that's where I'm sitting at.
I'm going to take a quick gander. I have some other notes pulled up. I'm going to pull up Rotten Tomatoes, see what they've got to say about that.
Man, I've been reading a lot. I've been seeing a lot of reactions, and a lot of people love the series.
I'm sure.
Love
I'm sure.
It.
A lot of people are like I said, I was curious because a lot of people are glad, I think, we're looking forward to seeing Ezra and Thrawn, all these characters that they know already. 86 on the tomato meter, 71% on the audience score.
Yeah, I'm right there with the audience. I feel them.
I think my score was right in the middle of that, approximately.
Oh, but don't worry though, Ahsoka won an award.
Oh yes, I heard about that.
Won an award.
Yes. Tell the people what it won an award for.
It was, the award is called a SIFA or a SIF. Basically, it's an award for achievements in filmmaking featuring women.
Yeah,
is what it is.
In positive or you know, strong leading roles, and that kind of thing.
And that's the only award it's won. And that kind of, to me, comes across as, let's put this on the refrigerator. Like, you guys, we'll put it on the refrigerator so everybody can see. You know?
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it didn't seem super like genuine, and it really plays into this whole the forces female agenda and the stuff that. And I'm all for empowerment. I'm all for showing strong female characters.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Like, Ahsoka's one of my favorite characters. Like, one of my favorite Jedi. But yeah, I don't know. It really, I don't know. It kind of felt like a little insulting. Yeah. To me, like my opinion.
No, I hear you, and I agree. I am 100% for. I like to see any group see themselves represented in a positive, strong, and a leading role. Mm-hmm. And for me, it made sense that this show would have a lot of strong female characters, just because it's Rebels is obviously a huge influence, is kind of the foundation in a sense, for this show and a lot of characters in it. Mm-hmm. So it made sense that Sabine would be in it. It made sense that Ahsoka would be in it. Yeah. Maybe there could have been more Hera, I suppose, but it made sense that those characters were in it and they were the main characters. So I was cool with that. Mm-hmm. I had no problem with Ahsoka and Morgan fighting at the end. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people will bring this up like, oh, the girls had to do it. Like, I don't care. Yeah. To me, it was fine that they're just, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm all, righteous and whatever, but they were just more people. They're just characters that were in a situation. Like, would anybody have complained if that had been all men that were doing that? Yeah. Would people be saying, oh, blah, blah, blah? In this day and age, somebody would, but in general, that's always been the thing. So to me, I don't care that they were all women. I don't see that as a bad thing at all. I think that's a cool thing. My problem is when you do all this female empowerment, but you then in turn have to belittle men in the process. When you are doing the same thing, like quote unquote, that's wrong, or you're doing the same thing that your enemy is doing, then you're the bad guy now.
You're wrong as well.
You're wrong as well. So, and again, I think the perfect example of that is with Ezra. I'm really curious about what Ezra fans thought of Ezra in this show. Like, when again, man, it didn't make any sense to me where Sabine tries to hand him his lightsaber and he's like, oh, I'm not going to touch it. It's like only like the alphas of the show can have a lightsaber. You know what I mean? Like, only the stars of the show can have a lightsaber. I'm just a background guy in your world. It's like, here, take your dick back. No, you keep my dick. I don't want it. It was annoying.
Or like when they're riding on the
dogs, and he's in the back. He's in the back.
Ezra is.
He's in the back.
Sitting bitch. Yeah.
I'm like, Ezra, I feel like you know the land better than both of them, but whatever.
That's cool.
Whatever. Yeah, and then like
that's exactly what that's 100% what it is.
It's like, no, I'll keep it and I'll swing it around.
But now you can keep my dick. Yeah,
you know better than I do. I don't need it. I don't deserve it. And then he goes around, he turns and he makes his own lightsaber. Like, why didn't you use the light? You could have handed it back to her. Yeah, you're the Jedi. Use the lightsaber. Why
didn't she make her own lightsaber? That's a big part of.
Apparently, she didn't know how.
Oh.
Apparently she didn't know how, like Ahsoka never taught her. Yeah. So she was feeling kind of, butthurt about that, which I get, but I don't know how long they were training either.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Maybe she's never had a chance to teach you, so calm the F down. But yeah, when he doesn't take a lightsaber, and he was weird about it. Yeah. Like, why are you not?
It was kind of like a gag almost. The way that they shot it.
What's kind of like happening right now? Why are you not taking?
You guys are about to die.
Yeah. Yeah, save the jokes for later.
Somebody ignite the lightsaber.
Somebody do something with it, please.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hand to one of them.
And that's kind of that's been that. I did see that. I did feel that way too here and there.
Yeah,
this by far isn't the worst of that.
Yeah,
there are much worse series that have done this.
Yeah,
I've done that, but it is noticeable though.
Yeah,
it is noticeable, and there's I don't know. There's kind of like a. Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of a weird thing, yeah.
And I'm not even necessarily. I can't call myself anywhere close to being an Ezra fan. I can't say that one way or the other because I haven't seen enough of Rebels to really go. And all the Rebel episodes I've seen, they've mostly dealt with Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So those are the best episodes. Those are the ones I focused on.
Yeah, that and the Darth Maul stuff. That's the only stuff I cared about.
Right.
Rebels, really. Yeah.
So,
but Ezra does become he goes from being that little snot-nosed kid, he becomes a leader. And towards the end, and he makes a big sacrifice.
And I'm like, how? Again, I feel disappointed for the fans of Ezra. And again, maybe the Ezra fans don't feel that way.
It's a very, very Luke moment. Like, Luke, who was at the end of the trilogy. And then we see him again.
Yeah, just effing neutered.
Yeah.
I mean, I again, like I say it in the beginning, like, you've been on this planet for 10 years and what have you been doing with this 10 years?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you haven't, like Ahsoka talked to, Anakin. Like, you can't do that too. And maybe you can't, but
maybe
foster
Kanan
what
wasn't as powerful enough to become a Force ghost. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, and that's okay. But you still know what he taught you, so just foster that.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you are pissed that you're stuck on this planet. Maybe Thrawn is like just over the hill. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know how those guys in 10 years.
10 years into each other once.
Didn't bump it.
Thrawn, you didn't like, because he actually asked, he's like, I don't know where Ezra Bridger is. How? You can go around that whole planet 10 times in a day in that ship.
And you don't know?
And you don't know where he is?
You're not just go and just get rid of him? He's the guy that got you here in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of relationship they had in the Rebel series.
Oh, they're like sworn enemies so why aren't you looking?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out there.
Get rid of him.
10 years?
Yeah, and don't send one guy at a time to do it.
Yeah.
Just
you go do it.
Yeah.
Because Thrawn messes them up every time they fight. Like throughout the whole series. Like
he gets physical with them?
He's like a very, very skilled martial artist. Like he fights, they have lightsabers, he fights with his hands, and he does some damage in the Rebel series. So what's this slightly fatter version?
Yeah.
Is he just
got out of shape?
Yeah, not gonna go out for a while. Is he not be training anymore either?
Right.
What have you been up to?
Clearly, there's something on that planet makes everybody lazy. I did like. I like Thrawn's look. Thrawn's look is cool.
Yeah.
He looks like some sort of fucking creepy vampire. Effing dude.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like. Yeah. Yeah. So that's fine. But yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. So. Yeah, anyway, so we're getting on a little long here, but maybe that's our talk on Ahsoka, huh?
Ahsoka.
Check it out when you get a chance. It wasn't the best thing we've seen, I think, in recent times, but, there's some
it's
stuff
weird.
in
Yeah, if you're a Star Wars fan, I would, again, as a Star Wars fan, I would check out the show. So it's not like you have to check it out. But if you're not a big Star Wars fan, or maybe it might be better to get up to date on everything before you watch it. So
I agree. 100%, yeah.
I can't say streaming.
You guys have to tell me
anyway,
what this insignia is before you can watch this show.
Right, and you got to tell me what this sweater looks like. It looks like Ahsoka. Never mind. But anyways, that's that.
That's that. Anything we're into before we wrap up?
I started watching it a while ago. I have not finished it all. Castlevania, the new series.
The Nocturne one, right?
Yes, I started watching Gen V. I only got to the first episode. I have not finished that, so I'm looking forward to.
A lot of people seem to be enjoying it, though. What it sounds
Gen V?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. So I'm going to get back into that. Yeah, it starts off very... the show's always just pretty extreme anyway, so this starts off pretty extreme. It's interesting. So I'm curious about checking out the rest of the show.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's about it, though. What about you?
Still working on Castlevania.
Okay, cool. You're watching the previous.
Yeah, I'm on season 3 right now. Yeah.
Okay.
It's still great.
I think you're almost done.
Yeah, almost done. They're pretty short, relatively short. Yeah. But yeah, that's a great show. I like it a lot. I started watching Encounters on UFO, or this UFO series that Steven Spielberg made on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a 4-episode thing. It's pretty interesting.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Despite what you think about that.
Yeah.
It's made by Spielberg did it.
Yeah.
So it's done well.
Right.
Storytelling wise, the way it's shot, pretty cool.
Okay.
So my parents are really into it. They really enjoy it. So yeah. But yeah, other than that, nothing else.
Yeah, I'm gonna also throw it really quick. My friend Dougie, I'm mentioning you, so just calm down. He recommends the movie Reptile that is on Netflix right now. Apparently it's supposed to be pretty good. So
the Benicio del Toro joint.
Yes, and I know Justin Timberlake in it, and there's another actress in it. I can't think of her name right now.
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
But it's supposed to be pretty good. So maybe check out Reptile as well.
Very cool.
All right.
Is it the prequel to Spider? Or is it the,
yeah, for the lizard?
For the lizard? Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. I hope so. Otherwise, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah. If there's no super reptile in it.
Yeah. Then why you waste my time?
Don't call it that.
Come on.
Call it spy conspiracy movie. Or I don't know.
Yeah, I know the title's kind of throwing me off. Like, are there reptiles in it?
Yeah. Is this in the desert?
Yeah.
Are you wearing reptile skin boots?
Their tails are their tongues that flick out and grab insects. Like, explain this to me. I need all this stuff.
I guess you're just gonna watch the show, huh?
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I probably will check it out though.
For sure. Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it.
Next week, speaking of Castlevania, next week we're covering Castlevania Nocturne.
We didn't see that coming, did you?
Yeah. It's it looks great. I've seen what your trailers for. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get through the first part of Castlevania so I can get to this one.
Right on.
But yeah, so we're covering next week. If you guys want to follow along with that, make sure you check out Castlevania Nocturne.
Yep.
And,
you should be updated on Castlevania. It's been out for a while, guys.
Yeah, it has.
Get your act together.
Yeah. I should be up to date. Yeah.
Yeah, get your act together. Me too.
Yeah, you watch it also. Yeah. Anyway, that's gonna be it then, huh?
Yeah, let's wrap it up,
been
man.
Here long enough. Yeah. Thanks for checking out as always.
Yeah, we
really
appreciate it.
We're seeing some pretty big growth, and it's really exciting. So if you guys can, keep checking it out.
Thank you.
Keep commenting, keep subscribing, keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
And we'll keep doing what we're doing.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Anyway, but I guess my name's Trent.
And I guess my name is Mark.
And this has been
Geek Off the Street.
Are we gonna do the newscast thing again this time, or
the news? What do we do in the newscast?
The anchors, where we pretend to talk like.
Oh,
or are we gonna go into something else? I always wonder what you're gonna do after we cut. Yeah,
so
after we cut.
What is this guy's gonna do now?
Yeah, let's do this time.
Yeah, that's a good point on it.
Exactly. Yeah.